why I quit my last 9-to-5. You guys better buckle up. This is going to be a good one, baby. It's going to be a good one, okay? So, I used to work for my last actual job. I used to work for a mortgage servicer. I'm not going to say their name. I don't need anybody looking them up. They're a mortgage servicer. Essentially, what a mortgage servicer is whenever you take out a loan out in the bank, they have someone that services the loan, collects the money. That's all it is. I did debt collection for this company. So I would make outbound calls and as well as get inbound calls back and forth all day. Majority of them were inbound customer service, but some of them were outbound collections. So inbound, I would still, you'd get a notice in your mailbox saying, hey, we missed your last payment, or hey, we need this amount for your escrow, things of that nature. So let's go ahead and explain what the actual job entails. My job is to look things up on your account to see what's going on with your account. Like if you're delinquent, how many payments, if you have an upcoming payment, what date is it, why escrow went up, escrow went down, what should I do? I just received a check, what should I do? And the last thing would be just collecting payments. That's literally all I did. So during this time, pandemic had just hit. I just barely got this job, and not even 60 days later, the whole pandemic jumped off. So I didn't know. I'm brand new. I don't know what to do. I'm like, bro, I think am I going to get fired? Like, I don't know what's going on with the job. And I think that they're not going to send me home with all this stuff, and they barely even know me. Well, I was incorrect. They definitely did. So that was cool that they had allowed me to work from home, which was a new experience for me. I've never worked from home like that, especially not for a customer service job / sales. So I set myself up a office inside of this closet. Now, the closet was not big, but it was not super small either. I could fit a small desk inside of there with all my stuff. So And at this time, my son had just been born, so I didn't really want, because they're like, yeah, we needed a quiet background and you need a good internet. Well, I had quiet background and good internet because I had secluded myself in this closet. So I had all the clothes there, so I could be as loud as I want, or it was quiet enough to do it. And it was inside of a bedroom, so I could shut that door, go inside the closet, shut that door. And interesting enough, there was a vent inside of the closet, which I've never seen a vent inside the closet. So I was cool in there too. I wasn't hot, I wasn't sweating or nothing. So it was always cool in there, so it was good. Was talk to people who were essentially losing their homes, which I'd never dealt with something like this. I've never, before this point, I didn't know anything about, I knew nothing about loans or houses or escrow. I didn't know anything about that. So I would sit there and talk to these people who bought their houses in, let's say, 1995, and they're about to lose their whole house right now. After almost 30 years of paying this house, they're about to lose it. And the reason why is because they're on fixed income. So that when they signed for the loan, they were still working, they still made good money, it was all good. Then, obviously, as years go on, they retire, or maybe they become on SSI or whatever, but they're on a fixed income. And what keeps going up on them is their escrow. So what escrow is, all escrow is your taxes every year. So you have to pay your taxes on your property taxes. And then you have hazard insurance. Not everywhere is required to have hazard insurance. It just depends on where you live at. I talk to a lot of people in the Midwest. So Midwest has big tornadoes, has big storms, things of this nature. Essentially, all the insurance is there for is to protect the investment of the investor. That's literally it. So you can prove that you have your own insurance, or we will put insurance on your actual policy if necessary. To move away from escrow and not have an escrow, you have to put 20% down on your house. So some of these people did, but one thing you have to do that's required, and if you miss it, the servicer will not miss a beat, and they will put an escrow on your house. And there's nothing you can do about it until you pay this house off. So some of these people would put 20% down. Then they would get a letter in the mail saying, hey, house is required to have hazard insurance, and we need this done by this date. They get their hazard insurance, they send it in, and the place that I worked for, they would lose paperwork quick. So they'd be like, hey, we didn't receive it. Hey, we didn't receive it. And then the worst part would happen would be insurance is now put onto their house, and escrow is accrued, all because we lost their paperwork, which is crazy. It happened multiple times. Essentially, that can be fixed. But aside from that, there's some people that didn't want to send in there, or they didn't send it by the date, and then they also got escrow attached. Escrow can go up, escrow can go down. So your first year of escrow is the worst year because you don't know. It's not based off of the last year. It's a new loan. They don't know anything about your house, the location. They don't know anything. So escrow takes one exact year of whatever happened that year. So if this year was a calm year, it was nothing, no big storms, no nothing, then you're all good. Your escrow will be low and you don't have to worry about it. It's just not a big deal. Hey, escrow is this. Cool. Every single month you're paying your payment, it goes to your principal, it goes to your escrow, and then it goes to your interest. All of these things are accrued in order. So if you're paying $1,200 a month, only $400 of that is probably going to your principal, especially in the first 10 years of your loan. It's because they want their money, as well as escrow needs to be paid into. So we're going to tell you about both scenarios that I used to talk to. The first scenario was, hey, these people put the 20% down, had no escrow, had no problems. The only reason why I'm talking to them is because they forgot the payment, or their auto pay didn't hit, or whatever. They need to push the payment back, especially because we're talking about this. This is the pandemic time. They have those deferrals and all this stuff. Trump is on the campaign talking about yada yada yada. They're calling in about this thing, and they're wondering if they qualify. And ultimately, every loan that you have, no matter what loan you have, okay, I don't care what kind of loan you got, every loan has the same exact requirements. You've got to make your payment. You've got to make it on time. That's it. That's the requirement, okay? So if you start doing what's called a deferral, that means you're taking this payment and putting it at the back of the loan. And the more payments you put at the back of the loan, then your maturity date will go past. So let's just say your maturity date is January 2025. That means all those deferrals are going to be due on January 2025, being your last payment. So imagine if you're $1,200, right? You deferred 3 payments. That's $1,200, $2,400, $3,600. That plus your normal bill that's due for the last payment. That's $4,800 that's due today. And you have 30 days to pay it, or we can legally take your house on your last payment. And that works with every single car or house loan that's out there. That's why every loan has a maturity date. By this date, all maturity date means it's due. Everything you owe is due that date. So all those times you paid short, whatever, boom. So I had people that were losing their houses to circumstances like that. I had people that are losing their houses because old people are definitely one of those people that they're unfortunately, I don't want to say it, but they ultimately are hard-headed. So I've had many calls that go like this. Hey, let me fix that camera. There it goes. I just got this letter in the mail saying that my escrow just went up, and I'm now going to be having to pay this amount. When I signed and yada 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 way back when, they didn't tell me. They said my payment was going to be this, and that's facts. Nothing can prepare you for escrow. Nothing. The only thing you can understand is that escrow needs to be paid into every single year. It's better to overpay it and get a refund than pay what's due. So let's just say it's $1,400 and $236 of that is going to your escrow. I would pay $400 of escrow. Because if you don't pay the escrow inside of there, you might have a shortage. And what a shortage means is we thought this year was going to be like this, and this amount of money was going to be able to cover all of the surrounding area for your hazard insurance or your taxes on your property. Well, we were wrong. So now we have to over project to not have another shortage for the next year. So when you have a shortage, that means, let's just say in escrow, you have $2,400 in your escrow. And the shortage means they actually, instead of $2,400, they actually needed $3,000. So now you have to pay $600 to fill that gap, to fill that shortage. Or if it's too much for you, you can spread it over the course of the loan. But next year you can have another shortage, and you won't be able to do that because you've already did this. You still owe on this installment. They're not going to put an installment on top of an installment. I've only seen that one time, and that was during the pandemic. So they definitely don't do it nowadays. So you have these people that are breaking down because they can't afford to pay these things. Why? Because they're on a fixed income. They get X amount of dollars per month every single month, and that's it. There's nothing else they can get. I literally listened to this lady as she broke down in tears, talking about, I bought this house and I'm only 2 years away from paying it off, and you're telling me after once these 2 years blows by, I still owe another $10,000? Sorry to tell you, yes, that's exactly what it is. That means you need to pay this off in full by this date, or you're going to come and take your house. Wow. And a lot of the time it's over escrow, because that's the only thing that goes up and goes down. Your loan stays the same. So your loan itself, just your interest and your principal, your P&I, that right there, all that is your payment. Just like your car. Except for, it would differ if you had to have escrow on your car. And that's why when you go to buy a house, they never explain these things, because even your realtor doesn't understand escrow. Nobody understands escrow besides people like me that have to explain it to the people on the phone on how the shortage happened. Okay, well, how did shortage happen? Well, your insurance went up because there was 10 tornadoes through your town. So that put us at risk. So to cover that, we need to make sure your escrow goes up, just in case we do have to replace your whole house because of a tornado blowing by. Because without that hazard insurance, who's going to pay for your house? It's going to be a total loss, and we lost our money, and you lost your house. But first of all, we lost our money. Hazard insurance, if your house gets flooded out and they got to do a bunch of repairs and stuff, within your insurance, you can get a hotel for X amount of time while they're doing repairs. With no hazard insurance, you're just sitting in a house that has a bunch of water in it. And thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to fix that. So that's why they have hazard insurance, okay? Then also, with your property taxes, we all know that property taxes go up and go down, man. They go up and go down, but they mainly go up. When they go down about like this. When they go up like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had so many conversations with people who just don't understand what escrow is, and I don't blame them, because escrow is a foreign thing to even realtors. And you know what they had? I always thought it was like a waiting period. Like, yeah, your house is in escrow. We got to figure out, all this stuff. Then we'll be able to sign the final paperwork. And once we get out of escrow, we're good. As a person who's signing the paper, you don't know what escrow is. Your house is in escrow. What does that mean? Oh, they don't know. Your realtor doesn't know. They don't care either. They want you to sign the paper so they can get some commission to pay more payments on their bins. They don't care about you. So the only time you get to talk to somebody who semi-cares is the person that's servicing your loan, like me. So yeah, after a year of talking to people losing their house and just depressing phone call after depressing phone call and not seeing the light of day because I'm sitting in a freaking closet talking to you guys, oh my gosh, bro, like, I just mentally couldn't do it anymore. Then my mom, she starts up a whole nother business which is an estate sale business, she says, hey, I need help. My mom's always helped me, always been there for me. So whatever I can do for her, I will. So I quit the job. I didn't want to quit, but I did want to quit because I didn't want to be in the closet no more. I did it because I was worried about the bills being paid, because no matter what, I had to pay, at that time, I think $3,200 in a month, or else I don't exist anymore. Like $3,200, bro. That's what I gotta make at the very least. And yeah, everything worked out just fine. But that was what I was worried about. That's the story of my last 9 to 5, doing collections at a servicing company, loan servicing company for your housing market. And I spoke to people who had the ones that were the worst off were the people who had mobile homes, because mobile homes in the Midwest are just getting rained on, snowed on, tornadoes, strong winds, all that stuff. After years of that, by the time you reach the end of your 30-year loan, your trailer is trash. You know how many times I've talked to somebody like, well, come and get the trailer, bro, because I guarantee you come try and get this off this foundation, it's going to fall apart. And you're telling me you'd rather kick me out and pull this house off and rip it apart rather than have someone live in it? In all honesty, yep. Because they don't care. They don't care. It's all about money, bro, and it is what it is. I get it. These people owe money. They signed the contract. It is what it is. They are holding you accountable for the terms of that contract. It is what it is, man. So yeah. Okay? I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for viewing the video, man. Leave a comment down below and I will respond with the video. You already know for facts I don't respond through the comment section. I'll do it through a video, and I appreciate every single one of you guys that are even on the channel, bro. You guys are amazing. And we're almost up to 1,000 on the subscribers, bro. That's actually dope. Yeah, but anyways, I appreciate you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Peace!